Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Carrie Dillon. We are joined today by one of our interns here at WHHI. This is Logan Cherry, and welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thanks, I'm glad to be here.
So where are you currently at school and what are you studying?
I go to University of South Carolina in Columbia. I'm going to be a rising senior, but I graduate in December. And then I'm studying majoring in journalism and minoring in media arts.
Okay, so what drew you to that area of study?
Yeah, I think when I was deciding what to go into, I kind of had to think about what was I passionate about and what were my skills. And I've always been a very creative person, even as a kid, and I always loved writing. So I would write scripts, short stories. I tried to write books, that kind of stuff. And then towards when I got a little older, I actually ended up helping create my school's first news program. So that was my first kind of taste of the journalism media world.
Sure. Were you kind of did you produce it, or were you sort of a writer, or were you behind the camera, or a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. They kind of came to us and said, does anybody have an idea of how to get people more passionate about sports and the general happenings? And so I kind of pitched this idea, what if we just do weekly at chapel a video and we kind of talk about what's happening in the world at the school and everything like that. And so I ended up kind of pitching that idea and getting the class together, and I helped write the scripts for the segments, and then helped get kind of the act together and direct everything, and then I would help film and edit. So I kind of did a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, yeah. Now, what programs are you familiar with in terms of editing software? And
Adobe Creative Cloud, that's mostly what I've been taught, and a lot of it is kind of me just going on to the Creative Cloud, messing around.
Tinkering around.
Yeah, there's so much to it.
Yeah.
But I love InDesign, I love Photoshop, I love Premiere, so those are kind of where I've learned to specialize in, I guess. Yeah.
Sure, it's great to have. Now, tell us about particular skills that you think you bring to the table for a job or in this particular internship.
Yeah, so I think not only with me, a lot of it is I do have those technical skills, so I know how to do Adobe Creative Cloud. I have a lot of experience with graphic design, I have experience with writing, PR.
And how old are you?
I'm 21. Yeah. Yeah, and then on top of that, I think I have a really good work ethic. So I like to show up on time and not just do the job, but do it as well as I can.
I tell you, you know what? Somebody taught me once that if I show up on time, I'm 15 minutes late. Yeah. And I don't know if it was intentional for them to give me that nugget that I've carried for my life, but that punctuality thing is really big.
Yeah, because I think if you start letting that slip, it kind of seems like you're not as interested anymore, which I don't know if that's necessarily it, but yeah, and I think I'm very passionate, and I bring a lot of creativity and that kind of stuff. I like to think outside of the box. So yeah.
So what's your next step? When do you go back to school?
I go back to school in August, and like I said, it's my last semester, so this is kind of the last little hurrah, I guess, at school until I have to figure out what I'm doing from there. And I've kind of been figuring out which avenue I want to go down. Like I said, I love writing. I'd love to either write for a magazine or something like that, but I also love being behind a camera and doing the directing, producing, editing, filming, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of been a decision for me. I'm also interning at Pink Magazine this summer, so I've been trying to get experience in both.
They've put out some great stuff.
Yeah. So trying to figure out which one I'm leaning more towards.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of writing, do you have particular writers who've inspired you, or is there a voice that you really like?
Yeah, I guess for me it's kind of weird. I love to read, so I've always been more, I wouldn't necessarily say a particular writer, but I've always been a really big like I said, I tried to write books and everything like that. So I think for journalism, have a more narrative style. I'm just a believer in storytelling.
Sure.
So even if you're writing for journalism, it's how are you going to tell somebody's story? Mm-hmm. And I love books and everything like that. So I guess that's I'm more narrative driven, I guess.
Gotcha.
So,
and what have you been doing here?
So we've been doing things already we've created videos for hurricane preparedness, designed brochures, pamphlets, website banners, that kind of stuff, but also we have to keep the social media going. So it's a lot of content creation, and I've been writing for the article post for the website and everything like that. So it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, we have somebody with a very bright future here, Logan Cherry, an intern here at WHHI. great future for you. Thanks for being with us
Thank
today.
you.
We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town.